Yeah, I mean, in my experience, the main focus has to be around this question of dialogue. We have people increasingly from different backgrounds in Europe. Its history is one of diversity, in my opinion, but increasingly finding places for dialogue between, different nationalities, faiths, ethnicities, etc. Just this need to create interfaith and intercultural awareness is very important in Europe, especially when we see, the rise of populist movements and the increasing stigmatization and isolation of certain groups.
In Europe, we will be facing, and we're already facing, like rising tensions due to migrant flows and due to an overall political discourse who's getting more intense and is creating more tension. So I think that what youth can do is really to tackle from the beginning and prevent this political discourse and this demographic change to create tensions in Europe, and that is part of the peace-building discourse. So mediate and integrate different cultures, create dialogue, establish relationships, and this is what they can do in Europe.
In the context of Europe, I think it's quite diverse and quite nuanced per country. I think it's very different. I learned an awful lot coming here. My version of peace building is very different to what other people might think of peace building. In Europe, it means a lot of countries seem to be divided from past conflict, and it is working together and striving to create better, more whole communities, and also trying to heal division between countries themselves rather than just within countries. In the context of where I'm from, Northern Ireland, it's about healing conflict and division that has spanned the course of 50 years and trying to make the next generation one that is able to work together and doesn't live in division and fear anymore.
For me, peace is unity, dialogue and collaboration. So when we have those things, we have peace too, and those things are missing in the EU.
So I think it's multilateral. There are official institutions such as the youth parliaments and the youth foundations that are a network in Europe, which are a good way to exchange information. And then there are local initiatives that are smaller, including student societies at schools, and their dedication to peace building is at a local level, so it depends again on the context and which country they are from, but it is building peace from the foundations of age, so being young and building it up so that it's sustainable.
For me, I think youth and peace building in Europe is privileged in that we are better structured and have better resources for it to be youth-led. So I think it's very important for youth peace and security not to be just run for young people, but also run by young people. And I think within a European context, that is quite good and it's getting better. For example, in my own country of Ireland, we have in the past haven't been great at including young people in any discussion really, and obviously on peace and security, but that is getting better and where it's being led by young people. And I think it's important also in a European context that we connect with other regions outside of Europe, that we connect with fellow colleagues to make sure that they lead it themselves by the young people. And I think on that topic it's also important to say that although young people should take a leading role in these activities, we should also make sure that it's not youth only, that we consult with anyone who's passionate about youth, peace and security, and that's very important.
Peace maybe accepting refugees and helping them. Security, to feel safe in your country and to feel safe to express yourself.
Youth-led peace building, to me, in the context of Europe, means young leaders coming together to advance peace and promote networking and dialogue between young people. It's about young people taking ownership of their communities. It's about young people wanting to make a difference to their local community, to their city, to their country, and organizing, coming together and working with peers to try and advance cooperation and dialogue between groups who otherwise wouldn't come together.
For me, youth is something at the basis of a nation. We are working today about security and peace building and peace also, but I think that we have to work together to engage young people in the strategic orientation, to give them the chance to express themselves and also to tell the people that they have a role to in a society. They have also to be involved in their actions, in local actions, regional actions, and also in European actions.
To you.
Peace and security mean to me, it starts from a state of mind, I would say. Their state of mind for me, starting from myself, but it's also a state of mind for the whole community, for the whole society. And I think we can all reach it and be peaceful and achieve peace in general. On the other hand, we should all be secure and safe from harm and be involved in bringing this peace and security together and implement it.
Youth-led peace building, I think, is really important, especially in Europe. I think we are the country which has known war for the longest time in history. And I think for the first time in history now, or for the longest time in history, we now have peace for more than 60 years, which is fantastic. But I think it's the old people who know what it was like to fight and to actually be in war or live in a era of war. And I think it's really important now that actually the youth realizes what privilege peace actually is, and actually that the youth is the one leading group to actually define what peace means to them in the future.